Coming up in this episode of the KickCast, Kevin keeps the burglars away, Livin makes the shower just right, and keep the slights on your stairs at night. So sit back and relax. It's time for the KickCast. Hey everybody, it is time for the KickCast, the podcast where we go out and find projects and let you know if you should backtrack or sack them. I am the boring half of the show, Ktdata, and joining me is a man who I love, and he actually is living his college dreams right now. We won't tell you what, but he's living his college dreams, the one and only Drew Tyler. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm good. That's one of my favorite jokes. I am living the college dream. I'm surrounded by women.
Yeah.
They're all of my own making, but they are women, and they're little girls.
To tell people they have more talent in like their pinky than I do have in my whole entire body. I'm jealous. To be part of the Tyler clan, I guess it just spews creativity and awesomeness that I can not achieve in my whole life. So
I wish. Well, thank you for saying that. That was hilarious. You kicked in this week with I'm the boring half of the show.
Because I am. No, I'm not cool. Drew's educating minds, changing worlds, submitting films to film festivals. And what am I doing? I'm just sitting here on Twitch talking about how much I hate new Skype. It's real.
That's an important part of our ecosystem, man. That's a huge deal. You've got to stand for it. Fight the good fight.
Yeah. All right. So if it's your first time watching the show, first of all, welcome. I'm looking at it. We are at 129 episodes. This is officially the longest podcast I have done. I think we've even beat out Ktdata now in terms of episodes, wow. Which is nuts. So before we get into our project tonight, we have two bits of news. This one is actually a interesting one, and I'm not so surprised the more I thought about it. So, Drew, do you kind of remember generosity.com, which was so that was Indiegogo's kind of their fundraising one where you could do it for life events or disasters and kind of stuff. It used to start out as Indiegogo Life. Then they transitioned it into generosity.com. Now they've actually announced that they are creating an exclusive partnership with youcaring.com. So that may be familiar because YouCaring competes against GoFundMe in the terms of kind of those charitable marketplaces. So what's happening is YouCaring is actually taking over all of generosity.com. So all the projects on Indiegogo, they'll still be going around until the end of the year. Right? It's 2018 now. Yeah. 2018. But what's going to happen now is if you go to Indiegogo and want to make a kind of a help me raise money for school or help me for this operation and stuff, it's actually going to take you to youcaring.com and allow you to use the tools that they have to set up your campaign. And the same works for vice versa. So if somebody goes to youcaring.com and say, hey, I have this great technology piece that I want to use, they'll say, hey, go visit our buddies over there at Indiegogo. So from now on, generosity.com is going to be referenced as YouCaring for any kind of entrepreneurial funding. What's more interesting about this is the reason why I mentioned that I wasn't too surprised about it actually switching like this, because Indiegogo has made it a huge push that they want to be kind of that product/gadget electronics type crowdfunding site. If you want the new gadgets and stuff, you don't go to Kickstarter. You go to them because they can help you from design to fulfillment, and they have all the partners. They have all the tools. They, have all the kind of physical aspects that you have. And now doing this, it allows them to focus a lot more on doing that than kind of helping to do all the other stuff, because doing those personal fundraisers are, they require their own set of tools, and Indiegogo has become less and less specialized to help do that. So by giving it to YouCaring, that's all they do. And what's interesting about YouCaring is they don't take platform fees. They are funded entirely based on how much you want to donate to them. So it's kind of like Humble Bundle when you go buy the bundle and you can pick who gets what. You can, you can chip them a couple bucks or chip them $0, which is that's super interesting. So what do you think about this kind of Indiegogo divesting, but still trying to help out the market type thing going on?
Right. No, I think that it gives YouCaring this kind of valid backing that puts them in that kind of in the visual eye, kind of like everybody goes GoFundMe now, and Facebook's trying to do something similar with donations. but in a charitable crowdfunding way, I think this is a great way to funnel those projects as they come in and give them again the platform they need to exercise, exercise the right way. So I think this is fantastic.
Yeah, and apparently the chat room is making fun of my inability to speak English. It's youcaring.com, not Karen. Caring. It's either my Utah accent or my Asian accent or just my inability to speak any language that's not Ktdata.
Chat room, you gotta give him a break. This is all he has in his life. Let him be.
Okay, so this next one, I actually like this. So Kickstarter and Indiegogo's, all these crowdfundings have started to grow, along with finding really cool ideas and stuff. We've run into that issue where people are getting scammed or they're not delivering. So I found this article on digitaltrends.com, trends.com, and they have created a cool acronym on what you should analyze so you can figure out if you should back a project or not. The funny thing is, as I was going through this, we do it all the time when we prep for the show. So their acronym that they are doing is called CRACK, CRACK, and I like to do crack before you back. And what's
I like it.
So this is how you can back projects a smart way. So the article breaks it down. So the first C is consider the complexity. So they're talking about the more complex the project, the more likely something's going to go wrong or it might not fun. I mean, if you're going to make this cool like bottle opener, keychain bottle opener, you really only need a CAD file and somebody who knows how to work with aluminum, right? And you're pretty much going to be good to go with that. Whereas you compare it to their example is a talking robot that's going to play fetch with your dog. That is magnitudes difference in terms of difficulty. So they might run into other issues. So that's one thing you want to do. Number 2 is one thing that I think a lot of people don't do, and we've always recommended it. The R in crack is say research the creators. So you want to look at the creators, see what they've done. Have they backed other or have they made other projects? Usually projects who are coming around for the second, third time around, you can trust them a little bit more because they've gone through the gauntlet. They know what they're doing, and they're just coming back for something else in terms of iteration. Or if they've say like, they want to make a privacy tool. You look, have they published any, information on like a paper or something about privacy and what they can do to protect. I'm not saying stalk them, but copy and paste their name. Yeah, copy and paste their name into Google and see if something comes up. A LinkedIn profile or a Facebook page, something that you can see like, okay, yeah, he's been working on that for a while.
True, that not a lot of people do that step, and I don't know if it just doesn't faze them or if they just put too much faith into the platform of crowdfunding platform. But it's an important thing to do a little due diligence and figure out what's the track record. Have they done this before? And if they haven't done it before, do I feel like you were saying, like, do they have the power to do it? Can they make it? Can they do the right thing? So I absolutely agree.
Yeah, so I always like that. And then so the next one is analyze your background. So what you want to do is, so you've kind of looked at the background of the back of people or their personal background if they are experts in this. Like, I mean, you're not going to have you offer a cooking device unless somebody else is helping me, because we all know how terrible I am in the kitchen. So you analyze the background. So again, you're looking to see if they've done other projects or if it's even financially sound. Drew, we've seen some crazy things like download your mind into the internet and stuff. It's like you just want to check those things because sometimes it's it may raise a couple flags, and then so that's the A, and then the second C that you get in the letter is to check the comments. This is another part that I've gotten better and better at doing. Is you go to the comments and you'd be surprised how often you're going to see somebody who actually is familiar in the field asking questions, and even just to see if the project backer is responsive to questions, because that's, if they don't, it's a little worrisome that sure they threw up the project, but they've just stuck their head in a hole somewhere, not looking to be receptive, because that community that you get is always important. And one of the things that I think Kickstarter likes to promote a lot is you get a community with your project. So being able to check the comments is really important to see. That's kind of the main way you're communicating with each other. And And the last one, I think, Drew, you and I probably actually suck on this, is keep an eye on it. So after the project is funded, you keep an eye, because I know for a fact you and I are owed a wall plug charging kit, and neither of us have emailed them. And they've actually launched version 2. I know that it's launched version 2 because I've seen the emails of them. And I'm pretty sure if we email them, they'd send it to us. But you and I must have missed an email somewhere to throw in an email address.
I went in there this week. To check on that project, and it is up to like 21,000 comments of people, even like in the last couple of days, saying, "Where the heck is my stuff?" Like, they are livid. Like, the entire community is up in arms because they did not deliver. Wow. And so we're not the only ones. I thought I got left behind.
Yeah, I thought I got left behind too, because I saw people got theirs delivered. I'm like, did I miss sending in my address or something?
Somebody got it delivered. They must have been on like a special list of like 5 people, because the majority of those comments are, "Where is my stuff?" It's surprising. And you're saying that they've started another round of it.
They have another one, and they do like weekly updates and stuff. So that's why I'm surprised about it. So I don't know. But yeah.
It's so shady, right? I mean, what? You can't deliver to the first round of people that's 3 years old. Like, no.
Yeah. I mean, like, I have other projects that are outstanding, but I knew that they were going to get delivered in 2018, like 2 video games. And I actually ran through this analysis. Like, I knew it was complex. I researched the creators. One of the creators, one of the creators was the guy who invented Castlevania, and what he's doing is building another Castlevania. So, I felt confident because he made Castlevania, and now he's making another one. Same for the other one was, Drew, you remember during E3 when they announced the Shenmue 3 Kickstarter, and I backed it on air?
Yep.
That was the original guy who made Shenmue 1 and 2. So I'm confident they're going to get that. Looked at the backgrounds. And I've been keeping an eye on both of those, so I'm excited for those to actually deliver. I'm kind of sad that I decided to get it for PC instead of the Switch now, because and I know that Jane's waiting for this thermal thaw that still hasn't delivered, that we covered ages ago, but they still keep posting backups or posts, so we know they're still working on it. So that's always another good one. So I actually like this acronym, and I like how you can remember it is to crack before you back. Consider complexity, research creators, analyze the backgrounds, check the comments, and keep an eye on it. I try to do this every single time we go through a project that we've picked to determine if it works or not. So yeah. All right. So we're on to we have our kick shout. So these are Twitter length shout outs. This one is from friend of the show. He's actually been on an episode before, and he is on one of our sister podcasts, the Double Burst podcast. So Alex has created Complete Craftworks, and it's a Dice Masters storage box. So if you play Dice Masters and you haven't been listening to Double Burst, first of all, go subscribe to that. And you're looking for a way to store stuff, store your sets in a kind of a beautiful way that you can stick all of them in one spot, because a lot of people stick them in bags, those monsters. You can actually get this. Just search for Complete Craftworks on Kickstarter, and you can go find out all the details there and help a host from a sister show.
I can't believe that we're shilling our own stuff here. Next time I have a project, we better show it on this show.
Yeah, and it's, should we just totally like send Alex through the crack? So consider complexity. It's a box. he's had it's a wood box, and he hasn't just
routering.
Yeah, research creator. He plays Dice Masters. I will personally vouch for you that he plays Dice Masters. Maybe.
So he must know what he needs. Okay. Good, good.
And then we analyze his background. He plays Dice Masters. He's been researching this for a while. Check the comments. There's no comments yet, so maybe somebody should go write comments on it, and we'll keep an eye on it too. So
he did do one update. He did an update.
Yeah, he did an upgrade on the first day. So that that's I think it passes the crack test. So if you're looking for that,
good, what is it called? He's got a nice portfolio, some galleries of prototypes and things. I think it looks like a fantastic thing. I feel like it's pretty spread out, but that's just the visual layout. So it's really long. But shout out, get out if you play with dice. I only play dice when I'm in Vegas. I don't do this.
I'm gonna teach you Dice Masters one day, my friend, and we're gonna get you hooked.
You give me 2 red dice with white dots. 7-Eleven coming out, yo.
Oh man, you'd never cease to amaze. You know how to gamble more than I do, by the way. Like I don't know how to gamble at all, so it's just great. All right. So that was our Kick Shouts. If you ever have a project you want us to mention or anything, just shoot us an email or send us a tweet at KickCast at Ktdata at Drew or at Night20, or KickCast at Ktdata.net, and we will make sure to mention on the show. All right. I bet you the chat room is going to hate our first project just because of the name.
Try this one, and I didn't know that, but let's find it.
So everyone's going to hate this just because of the name. So our first first project of the night is called Kevin by me Tippy. And if you guys don't know, the K in KT is Kevin. So no, you're not backing a project to where I go live in your house and pretend like somebody's living there while you're away. But it is they call
Here, Karen.
they call it your virtual roommate against burglars. So it's a little device that you have in your house. It hooks up to your Wi-Fi system, and it actually can detect when you leave your house. And and what it does is it actually simulates like somebody is living or is in the house when you're away. Because they did the research and they found out that most burglars, they don't attempt to rob houses if there's even a chance of any kind of confrontation. They want the easy pickings. They don't want to, increase the risk. They want those empty, dark houses. And, we've seen other solutions where lights turn on and, you can schedule all that kind of stuff. This one kind of brings it all together. So it's supposed to simulate it. And the way it does it is shows off, blinks your lights. It can even simulate a TV. It has audio, so it can actually play noise. So it sounds like you're running the washer to the dryer and stuff in the background. So when you look at it from the outside, it looks like somebody's in there, therefore reducing your chances of getting robbed because they don't want to why go to that one when the one next door looks like there's no lights or anything on at all. And what's great about it is a lot of these things that I've looked through in the past, it's complicated to set up. So what they're pledging to do is they want to make sure that the setup takes 5 minutes or less, and then just produce that thing. And they call them grandma-proof buttons. So there's buttons on them that you can actually press, and anybody can get set off, but it still can detect that when you're away. And since it's hooked to Wi-Fi, you can use your phone to actually change all the stuff when you're away too. So you don't have to, rely on the programming for it. So, and they're going to base the behaviors on location. So the US and Europe, they're going to behave a little bit differently. So that way they can't tell, and they're going to try to make it random too. So it's not on a schedule. Cause that's a problem with like some of the programmable lights and stuff is 6 o'clock, they automatically turn on. That's easy. If you just, stake out the house for a couple of days, you can start picking up those patterns where this, even if it doesn't have an internet connection, it has a week's worth of programming. So for that whole week, it's going to look different. So I don't know. What do you think about this, Drew? Like
trying to figure this out, like this idea is really interesting. And I was somewhat on board because I'm thinking, okay, so this is like a light and sound box that creates this aura of like somebody living or being there. And then I quickly thought of like, okay, well, I could also just put something on a timer that turns on and off randomly. So I started thinking that, and then I saw the pricing tiers, and I was then sold that this is an insane amount of money, like $200. Is that right?
Yeah, because I think these are in Swedish francs.
Yeah, it was about $266, and I thought, oh, I love the idea, and I think it's a neat way to kind of put was this like an NPC, right? This is a non-playable character that sits in your house while you're gone. This is what just does things. And I thought, yeah, if you get one of those mechanical timers in your house and you set the on and off for a light, yes, there's like a regimen there, right? It's like too what's the word? Dependable to, like, yeah, you can guess what's going to happen. But I bought a $12 like Wi-Fi enabled plug, and I have it plugged in right now. It's into my glow light in front of my lemon tree in the house. It's cold outside, but I can command that same thing from my phone and set the same randomness of ons and offs, so I could do my own like for $12.
Yeah, but does it make
So
like all the noises and stuff too? Because this is what I liked about it is it brings a whole bunch of them together. It
it
makes
does. It
noises, so
does.
it sounds like somebody's rustling a table and stuff inside the your house or your apartment too. Because they actually suggest to put these near doors and windows so you can
Yeah,
simulate
shadows
that.
and
Yeah,
lights. Yeah. No, I get it. It's all together. I think it's just way out of my range.
and it looks
Oh, I
pretty
think
too. I mean,
it is
like
pretty.
look how pretty that looks. It's like all like
Nothing's
polished.
more expensive than Alexa, and Alexa can do all kinds of things for me that this thing can't do.
Well, so
Like,
they haven't like that's the question that I saw in the FAQs is they haven't announced anything, but they're open to looking to integrating it into your like your smart things or your Alexa or your Google Home also, so it can actually control a whole bunch of things. The one I like about this is so what happens to your light if it loses Wi-Fi connectivity? Does it still go off, or does it have that offline mode?
no, you're right. Mine
Yeah,
does not fall back to that offline mode.
this one has a week's worth. No matter what, it's gonna have a week's worth of stuff built in to it for offline mode. It doesn't have a battery built in, but it makes sense because they're like, hey, if the power is off, how are you gonna fake a TV sound or a washing machine going off? If the power's gone.
Good point. Good point.
And yeah, and yeah,
I like it. It's attractive.
everybody's giving me crap about picking the one that's called Kevin because yeah,
You know, it's
maybe.
funny though. My favorite thing on this Kevin, like my favorite part, is that GIF of the guy in the leather jacket trying to break in the house. To me, that's Kevin, the cat burglar.
Oh, come on. I know how to pick locks. I'm not going to do it like that. Gosh.
You're not gonna do it.
Locks? That's never slowed me down to get into the house.
This is Kevin. This is Kevin.
See, if you wanted the real Kevin, it's going to cost you more than that. But hey, I'm open. Hey, if somebody wants me to house sit and pays me, well, plus travel expenses, I may consider it. We're gonna get a KickCast somewhere. I don't know, in someone's house, because they're like, we want our house sitting services. So speaking of our houses, we all have our kind of creature comforts and stuff. So I don't know. Do you know this, Drew? Because I don't think we've shared a hotel room, right? Or have we?
I don't think you and I have.
So
Well, no, the time that we've been in Vegas together, I've always been with another company that puts me up somewhere else. So
yes,
now I have been to your hotel room.
yeah.
Remember you slept like 5 or 6 people in that giant suite?
I
It had
know
glass
that's
windows.
only
Oh,
happened
beautiful.
once, even though now like the other 5 to 6 people think I do that every year. That was
I like
because
to
I
believe
got
you
that
do
room
that every year.
comped and somebody hooked me up. Normally I'm sleeping in a cramped room that barely can fit the 2 people. So you might not know this, but Dito knows this about me is I am terrible in the morning. Like me getting up is not like it's a struggle. And the one creature comfort that I have to have no matter where I am, and this is why I can't camp, is I need to have my morning shower. Like if I can have my
I,
morning shower, I could go without coffee, I could go without food, I could go without anything. As long as I have my morning shower, I'm okay. So is this next project going to help me with this?
I believe so. I think what you're looking for is going to be the solution is right here in the Livin, is what we're calling this. The Livin. It's a shower that's been redesigned in a smart way. This thing is tremendous. We always say just add Bluetooth to everything, and it's a project. But what's amazing about the Livin is that this is a shower that almost anybody can install. You still put it on the same post and the same, you know, faucet setup that you have. The Livin will allow you to basically set up the perfect shower, the perfect temperature, saves water, and it's all with a smart integration. So for me, I have like most people, you reach in and you try and like reach your hand in and you pull the shower knob so that it starts to warm up while you do some other things, and then you get back to the shower when it's at a good
Yeah, because
temperature.
you don't jump in when it's cold. That's just no one does that.
Or you don't climb in and pull it. You don't pull it on you. Although I do, I'll put my girls and then I'll be like, okay, shower time, and I'll throw them in and close the doors, and then I'll reach in and back and pull the shower knob, and they'll be like, ah! And then we laugh together.
That just seems like smart parenting.
Yeah, right. So
uh,
this one, what you can do is on your phone or on a device, you can say, prepare my shower, and it knows, you tell it beforehand or at that moment how hot you want it to be. It fires up the shower and it waits till it gets to that temperature, whatever you told it, 98 degrees, go. And then when it hits temperature, it shuts the shower off and waits for you. So as soon as you get in, you can stand in there, hit the go button, shower comes back on at the exact right temperature because it's already set, and then you can enjoy your shower. And then what they've added to that is that kind of Bluetooth, that connectedness that you can play your music in there. You have controls for your device.
I like how it dings you when the shower is ready too. It sends you a notification.
Yeah, it's like ding ding ding, come on in. But what's amazing there is once you're in, you can use the dials and other things to play music. They have something that they call the go. It's like the go to bed. No, what is it? The wind down that night. The shower recipe.
The shower recipe.
You can actually. Whoa. Some people like to cool down, and so you can program it to be like, okay, I like my showers at 98 degrees, and then when I hit the recipe to end my shower, I want you to roll it down to 60 degrees. Give me a little bigger. Wow.
I like that because I kind of do that when I come back from the gym. It's just kind of wind down type thing. So I like that.
So like that, and then of course I love music. There's a lot of cool things, and then there's its stats. Right, you get out of your shower and it gives you the stats, and it says you were in there for 8 minutes, and it was this temperature, and this is how much water you used. I don't know. I think for me, I really miss having a nice shower. I have the boring one now, the stock shower. When I was in my first house, we went to a home and bath show, and we bought a new shower head. And for us, it was splurging as young newlyweds, and it was a $50 butterfly shaped shower head. But I love to position that thing and get the right cross beams. And now I'm back down to just plain.
I don't think mine's compatible. My house. Because
really?
My diverter is not located on the tub spout. It's located on the other one, where the water comes out.
Up on the top. Well, mine's set perfectly, and if I buy a new house, I'll just set it. You also have a profile for yourself.
I know, yeah, I love it how you can change it. So I'm gonna, if you do get one of these, I'm gonna sneak into your house and program a KT one. Just
his own shower setting. And my wife every day she'd be like, "Why does KT have a shower setting?
He's never slept over ever. Why
has he been here? He didn't even go here." Anyway, that, my friends, is the Livin, and I think it's pretty rad. It's steep. You're looking at almost $300, but that's almost half price.
It seems like it's worth it. So my
gadgetry.
Yeah. So my question is, how adjustable is the shower head? So, I think you've mentioned this, or I've mentioned this before, but I am a 6-foot Asian, and the thing that drives me, it's totally a first world problem. The thing that slightly annoys me is a lot of the showers I go to, the shower head is right here. So if I want to get water on my head, I actually have to bend down. And as you guys can see, I wear glasses, and I can't see anything without them on. So there have been many a time I've bent down, got the water, and hit my head right on the top of the shower spout.
I just pictured you naked.
There's just it's just yeah. It goes along with me in the morning. I'm just not a functional human being in the morning.
Oh man. Which reminds me, we're talking about how high it is. That kind of comes with how the house was built and where the actual house comes out. But my thought was, when you said that, I was I didn't see in here any control for pressure or
Oh, it better not be one of those. I'm totally like Kramer, where he gets those illegal Russian shower heads installed into his house, and he sprays them. And it's yeah. I don't think
I'm
like my
missing
water
it,
pressure.
I'm seeing the temperatures and the turn on, the turn off, and you can control it with Alexa, right? You could say, "Alexa, start my shower."
Yeah, that's great.
But what I don't see is
do you know we live in a world where you have to be careful about saying that A word, because you may set off somebody's actual. So it's got to be I've seen people go, "Alex, A," and you have to be careful with all the other keywords too, "Hey Jerry,"
computer. Hey Jerry.
Hey Jerry, or "Okay Noodle." We live in an interesting world. But I do like how you can control it there too, because we're getting to that point. I could see Jane doing that too, because she loves her Alexa, and she has it like hooked up to everything. So why not have a shower hooked up too?
I
She
think that's for
she
me.
also is house hunting, so that
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Convince everybody to do that. So that is the living. So is this a backtrack or sack for you?
Totally a back for me, and I think especially where you're at like 50% off of retail for a new house, like it just sounds super uber like creature comfort. Like it's yeah. I'm gonna go show my peach right after this.
Yeah, so it's a track for me just because my spout isn't compatible.
I don't need much.
If I had a compatible spout, I totally would do it. And I've just realized our theme tonight is totally home improvement type things, or home protection, home improvement type things. So for our last project tonight, this was voted. So there was 2 that actually are close, and they still follow the home protection. So the one that we got is what we're going to talk about. But I guess I'll mention the other one too, because the other one is, if I can remember the name, is called the Light Cam, and these guys are in Provo, so it's a Utah project, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
And it is a plug-and-play light security camera. So it is a LED light bulb that has a camera built into it. So you just screw it in into your socket and you're ready to go. What I liked about it is they made it as customizable as possible. So you can actually tilt the camera up and down depending on what kind of light socket you have. You can actually extend it out if it's like not covering it. And they've also made it so it can tell if you put it into, one of your fancy outside lantern boxes, it can detect where the glass is, so that way when it shoots the IR beams, it just doesn't detect stuff out. So yeah, and it also has IR beams, so you can look at stuff at night too. So I really like it because it's really just screw it in and you're pretty much good to go. So you can find those guys if you search for Light Cam plug and play smart light security camera home. All right, so for our last one, Drew, your house is 2 stories, right?
It is.
Have you ever had this problem? Because I'm assuming your bedrooms are on the 2nd floor. So have you ever had this problem? It's the middle of the night. You need to go get something in the kitchen because, your oldest was like, Dad, I really need a glass of water or something, right? And then you got to go down the stairs, and you're like me, turning on lights. That's not. You're like almost in automatic mode at this point, right?
Well, you remember that my wife broke her leg because the lights were off on the stairs.
Seriously? I didn't. Yeah. So she's had this problem where she slipped and like ate it, right? And a hospital visit and a large medical bill later. You may want to get these. So this problem is actually, we have firsthand experience. So these are called the slights. So they are motion controlled lights for your staircase. And what they've done is they've tried to design them to be as slimline and unobstructive as possible. So their whole goal is once you install them, you can't tell the lights are there. And the way it works is there's 2 sensors, one at the top of the stairs and one at the bottom of the stairs. So when you cross those will actually turn on those lights on the side of your stairs and light your stairway so you can walk up and down with seeing them. And they're on about, I think it's a 30-second timer, but you can actually change the length of the timer. So if you have longer stairs, you can change it. Or if you have shorter stairs, you can change it and they'll automatically turn off once the timer goes off. And it's pretty straightforward to install it. It just has the sticky 3M tape. I could do this because we all know I'm not good in the kitchen and I kind of suck at home repair too. So I can do this. Yeah, it has the 3M tape. You just stick it on, and it should just stick there until you remove it. So that's all you do, and then you just plug it in. Like I like how easy it is to install, and just something that I think all of us need. Like you personally know that this is something that you should have.
And in my house, I have the light switches. No, I have the outlets that light up on the bottom. So I have my hallways that have this kind of like glowing light. I have the Nest Protect, which does like slight lights in the hallways, but I have nothing on the stairs. And this would be ideal. And it could just flip on and off as you like trip the infrared and then boop, run a rope light up the stairs. Like, it's brilliant.
Yeah, I love it. And they're not that bad price. So like I think the early bird starts at $30 and they're looking MSRP for $50, which I don't think is bad at all because they've designed it. And so they're in the model where they have working prototype. And what they're trying to do is now, make the wires a little less obtrusive so you can kind of wire them and they just plug into the wall. Like if you have a power socket nearby, you can do that. And they've talked about that they are working on customizing length. So if you need a longer length of cable, they can work on it. But yeah, you just plug it in the wall. You don't have to. That's what I'm like. I've seen some of them where you got to wire it into a wall socket or cut a hole and splice it. Like I
Right,
did.
right.
I'm not. I don't do those kind of things. So
I'm
that's why I
curious.
worry about it.
What's the length? Does it say anywhere like one flight
Yes.
is
Let's see. The
10
light
stairs?
strip is 17 feet long, but includes instructions on how to adjust it so it molds perfectly to your staircase. The power cable will be 3 feet long. For reference, the staircase in the video is a little over 15 feet long, but uses a 17-foot long slight. Starts and ends before the staircase adjustment based on your preference.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's perfect.
So
I'm seriously considering this in the house, the model home that we've been walking through for the last couple of weeks, and I'm thinking, yeah, I think that fits. That's a brilliant thing to add in. Only thing better would be if they were like totally like hidden underneath the lips of each stair, but that would take a whole lot more install. This is a very simple up the banister, or
yeah,
I mean up the ramp. I
and
love it.
yeah, and really that's all you need. And I imagine if you do it on both sides, then you can get it like fully illuminated. Even though one side, looking at the picture they have, one side seems to cover a good portion of it. It's just my need for symmetry once strips on the other side.
As long as I don't leave my tools sitting on the stairs, you'll see them and nobody will get hurt.
See, that's the thing. You don't need tools to install with these. You just peel and tape. So
No, that's all easy.
So yeah, this one's definitely a back for me. Is it a backtrack or sack for you?
Totally back for me. This is a brilliant idea. It's just done right. I think it's nice and simple and easy, and a solution to a problem that needs a solution.
Yeah, so I really like that. Those are the slights. And so those are our three main projects. And normally we do our sack of the week. But I don't know if you've noticed this, Drew, but the quality of projects on Indiegogo and Kickstarter seems to have jumped up. So I don't know, maybe both of them have gotten a little more stringent in what they allow. But I've had a harder time finding sacks of the week. So what we're gonna do is do follow up of the week for this one. And this was one I picked because I didn't think there was a need for. Drew apparently thought there was a need for this, and you actually got this, right?
I did.
You backed this.
I did.
So the first one is the strip pop. So it's that device that opens up bandage packaging. So you want to give everybody an update on where we are with that?
So when I backed, I think I was the seventh backer. They wanted $10 to send you 3 of these strip ops, right? 3 for $10, and I did it because I thought it was so ridiculously simple, and I thought, you know what? This guy's come up with something. He thinks the world needs it. This was one of my backs that I was like, yeah, this will be fun. Let's see if it even lands. Because he was only asking for, I think, about $100 or something. So I pitched $10 in. Well, he hit his goal. Does it say what he's asking for? Can you roll up?
He had a $10 goal.
Oh, so maybe that was it. So there was only a handful of us that started it to just make it happen. He hit 360, which is fantastic. But what I think I've loved about his, look at how many comments and then look at those updates. He's done a fantastic job of engaging the community, of keeping us surprised when it funded. He, was like, gave us all kudos and thanks because things were running so well. And on the side, he does like polished gemstones. He offered everybody to pick up their own gemstone on top of your reward. So I'll be getting my 3 strip offs, and I believe I think I got an amethyst that he's going to polish up and send my way. But what I've just loved is that every step of the way, once it closed, he thanked everybody, and then he let us know, hey, in a couple of weeks it takes that much time to process the monies. So when I have the money in my account, I'll go make the purchases. Just got another email this week. Hey, everybody, I got the money, so I've already ordered all the parts. You should see them soon. I just really love that, like, real close, connected, good communication. So that one is the strip up. I'm pretty excited about the way that he connected.
Yeah, and I love how we were talking about the comments. You look at his comments, man. He was pretty busy, and I think he was adding locations. So I think these are locations of people.
Places he can ship to.
Where he was back, and so like I love it with this. So like it's always good to kind of see when some of these are successful and stuff. So, and he was, you know, I don't know how more transparent you can be about international shipping when he's updating it almost every single day on another place he could ship to. So
Yep.
I like that. And then, okay, we have one more follow up of the week that you have. And what's this project? Well,
Oh, my poster just fell down. But I'll tell you what the last thing is that we're going to follow up on. This is one that I backed some time ago. It is called Ears with multiple E's. Let me see if you can read it. Yeah, there you go. Ears, EEEARS, and it was meant to be a ear cleaner that was silicone, so you can wash it off and clean it and reuse it, but almost in place of Q-tips. And since I'm always running out of Q-tips or using more, lots of them, I thought I'm going to try this one. So I ordered it. I've used it for about a week and a half or so, and
we can tell they're easily cleanable because there's no earwax on them.
Right, so clean. But what he yelled at me because I was trying to shove it in my ear. Right, I'm doing this like spinning cleaning, and it just doesn't get deep enough for me. Like it doesn't. I'm not fully satisfied. It doesn't get anything out. If I get out of the shower and I run this through there, it doesn't feel like it empties. Pulls out the water, and it's not supposed to like absorb water. I just thought at least I'd get in there and kind of spin it around, but it's too big.
It's a safe distance. You can't. There's delicate machinery in there, Drew.
That's what this little knob is. This is supposed to stop it from going too deep, but I feel like it doesn't even doesn't get there.
It doesn't even get to the knob. I told you before the show, you shouldn't really be sticking anything smaller than your elbow into your ear, anyways.
And I'm going back to Q-tips. It's good, but I feel like unless I cut it down to actually fit in the canal, which again, not safe.
Q-tips aren't safe either, man. Like you get one stuck in there, and then
I don't want to get one stuck. Anyway, but that's the ears. They ran their campaign just like they said they would, and shipped, and have kept very good contact. So they've done great with communication as well. That's the ears. I have one now.
Yeah, I don't have anything to back because all my stuff is still waiting, or actually no. So I backed One Deck Dungeon and they had upgrade cards. They actually had manufacturing problems where the ink was actually transferring to other cards. So what they're actually doing is if you backed the plastic ones, which there was a lot of them, they're actually reprinting and resending those out to everybody to fix the issue. But they're still actually trying to gather information so they can figure out why that happened and prevent it before they reprint it and send it to people. Because, what's 2 decks of unusable cards versus one? So.
Right.
But yeah, and everybody else is looking at me weird when I say smaller than your elbow. Yeah.
Never heard that. Also, have you ever tried to put your elbow in your ear?
That's the whole point, man. That's the whole point. There's delicate machinery in your ears that you don't want to mess up.
I'll clean out with my fingers. They fit even better than this thing.
Yeah, and Rev's saying you should try the ears with your nose to see how well you can use that as a nose.
How did I not think of this? Give me a close-up.
Yeah, jeez.
I'll spare you.
If you guys want the raw uncut version, send $5 care of Drew Tyler, the nose picketing.
On our $20 Patreon nose cleaning show.
All right.
Thanks, Rev.
Yeah, so if you have any projects you want to talk about, even if you want to vent about a project, we should open it up to people. If they even want to vent or they want to say, hey, this project did a good job, shoot us an email, kickcast@ktdata.net, or leave it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/kickcast, or tweet at kickcast@ktdata at night20. They all start with K's. You'll find all of that. Drew, unfortunately, that is the end of this episode. What a great episode. 129 is a winner. I think all 129 are winners. So with that, Drew, you got anything to plug? I know that you're going to be winning an Oscar soon and all that stuff.
No, also, I'll throw out the link to the documentary. We made it available to everybody that was that went on the project to Africa and kind of was a part of it. But I'll throw it in the chat, it's gum.co. This is a short link, gum.co/Windows of Change, all one word. And if you're bored, jump on there, download the 4K version, and be inspired. I mean, that's what I'll pitch. It's actually online, available for you to download, watch the show. I did enter it into a bunch of festivals, and I'm hoping that it gets some kudos there. But really, my goal is for people to watch and be inspired and motivated to serve more, to get out and look at the needs of others more. So that's what the whole show, Windows of Change, is about. But you guys are here listening to me ramble about all kinds of ridiculous things that don't matter. This one matters. Take a night and spend an hour learning about service.
Yeah, and as somebody who's seen it too, like I'm excited to watch it in 4K now. Like I've seen it because that projector was like 2K. I'm excited to see it in 4K. It is a well-made documentary. You guys check it out, and you're even giving it out for free. Like
I am, because I think it's a good message.
So like, yeah, if you guys didn't get Drew a birthday present or a Christmas present, download this, watch this, and tell a friend about it. And we'll call it even. Yeah,
I'll forgive you for.
Yeah, I really dig it, and I can't wait for like the director's commentary version, where you and your wife just sit down and talk about this, and like because I can imagine you might even have some extra stories about some of the kids and stuff, and how you guys were interacting when you're out there filming too. Which
it was just fun. It was a life changer. It was honestly a life changer just to see how the world operates and how really like well positioned we all are, and how much more that means that we should be able to share and give back to anybody, to others. So go be inspired.
Yep, and if you want to find that link, you can always head on over to KickCast, or not KickCast, right? Yeah, KickCast, kickcast.net. I was almost said .com. I think we own that. I don't remember. This is what happens when you own way too many domain names, and you're like, do I own that one? But yeah, head on over to kickcast.net. It will be in the show notes, so you can check that out. And if you do go to one of these festival things and you can vote and you see it there, just give it a check right there. You want to. All right, so our next live episode, and I suggest you be here live. The chat room was a riot tonight, trying to distract me left and right, and I think they did a good job on it. Our next one is going to be. Oh look! Finally, we're going to have a KickCast not on Valentine's Day. It's gonna be on February 13th. Because I swear the past couple of years, Valentine's Day has always fallen on the KickCast day, and I'm not stealing. I still drew enough weekly that I don't touch that day. So we'll be here. And yeah, check out kickcast.net for all the good stuff. And until then, my friends, bye-bye.
Good night.